Okay, so this is day 2. Since we spoke last, I got a day off, strangely enough. So we just shot day 1, and our scheduled day off in the match was the second day of competition. So I had a little bit of time to sort of reset, try to put that bad day behind me, and really think about what's made me successful in the past and what I need to do to make it happen here. So coming into this day, I'm feeling a bit better centered, if you will. The stages in this section are definitely a bit easier, which plays to my strengths more. I am naturally able to shoot more aggressively and faster than the people I'm competing against, and so this is sort of my bread and butter. So going into this first stage, it's a regular 12-round stage right here, basically 2 positions, draw, smash everything you see, turn and shoot 2 partials at the end. Let's do it. Pretty much nothing to it. You can see the more very careful shooting on those plates and on the partials. There's that nice tenth of confirmation before I'm firing my first shot on both of those, right, as well as the plates. Trying to make sure I'm seeing the right thing before I commit to shoot. Being quote-unquote willing to be slow like I keep talking about. And it made a huge difference here. This one was actually a stage win. And on this same stage, my nearest competitor dogged a no-shoot on this target right here. Punched one down in a mic no-shoot on that stage. So, I mean, right there, probably flipped. I was down 45 points coming into this day of competition, and then flipped about 20 of that back right on the very first stage, which is a good way to start. So this was the large course for the day, second stage of the day. I knew it was going to be a pretty high hit factor stage, probably up to 8 or so, based on the fact that it's 3.5 positions in a full 32-round stage. So you're going to see careful shooting on the partials and on the plates, but basically aggressive movement options taken on everything else. So I'm trying to really move my feet, really move my weight, and try to cut time between positions to be as efficient as possible.
Straight.
Okay, straighten it out.
Are you ready? Stand by.
I changed my plan here a little bit. My original plan was to come out wide and basically shoot these far partials from this position and then do an about face to shoot these ones that you're about to see me shoot. But instead I turn and shoot these ones in the closet and then reload across to cover some distance to get closer to these guys, which ultimately I think was a better plan and easier to execute. Reload here. Definitely still see the nerves there, pushing a couple shots down.
If you're finished,
It was ultimately a good, not great performance in terms of just the general, like, couple extra shots, a little bit of loss of efficiency, not perfect points. But getting through the biggest stage of the day with a good, not great performance at this point in the match feels great. So I'm very happy with this. Realizing these are not exactly presented in order of completion. This was actually my last stage of the day, but this is a one shot on each stage. I was very uncomfortable for this one. I ended up changing my plan at the last second again, like really at the last second this time. My original plan was to cut right, deal with this stuff, and then make another position right here to shoot these targets that you can see behind this wall. And I realized the last second with a step to the right, I could see all 5 of these or all 6 of these targets right off the rip, and I could just bang those out, not have to make another position. So a relatively subtle change to the plan, but I was still really thinking about remembering how to do it right up to the very last second. So execution here, in my opinion, is a little bit hesitant, and I have a couple extra shots. But this goes okay. Deep step right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, plate. And from here, right, like now the hardest part of the stage is yet to come. That was what I would consider to be the easy part, where it's all pretty easy shooting. That was all very fast, very efficient. Coming into here, it starts to get a little bit more difficult. 1. This is it's hard to appreciate how much this position sucks, but you can see how low I'm getting here. I basically have to get my left knee on this bar in order to see the part of the target I need to hit, and then do immediately reverse out of this position and come around this whole stall, so to speak, to shoot the rest. So I'm pretty sure I had a delta on that target. And you can see still the very careful shooting. Again, I keep saying try to attach a specific sight picture to the partial. You see coming onto this target here, let me get to the right place. This very careful confirmation as I'm sinking down to make sure I'm seeing the right thing with the sight, before I commit to take the shot, not just doing this by feel. A really deliberate pause before the shot on this target. Right, solid 2/10, maybe even 3/10 before I take that shot. And that's kind of summarizing my strategy for the day. Try to be very careful in the parts where it's absolutely mandatory, and then just do what feels natural and try to go fast, take movement options everywhere it's possible otherwise. This stage probably had the most overall motion in the whole match. I like the stage a lot. I'm going to start with a deep step right. And then hard run, 3 targets here. A very awkward reload. You can't really tell by perspective, but I'm facing almost the deep right 180 degree right now. And I have to turn around and go left, like turn over my left shoulder and run back and hit a reload at the same time. So this movement is very awkward. You can see it basically, I get my body, so my hips are facing the 180 and I'm kind of reaching behind myself and getting this load done. So it kind of happens off camera, but reload here. And you can really see the efficiency and the movement options thing I'm talking about here, where all these targets are low difficulty, relatively speaking, but most people on the squad elected to get pretty much to this spot right here and then just like punch in and shoot the rest of it moving. Or I ended up moving through this entire section, trying to, keep my weight moving as much as possible. And in doing that, I don't really have to shoot as fast as they do to generate the same time, which in my opinion is usually a good thing. Very simple little flow stage here. Draw these first two targets are about 12 yards. I'm going to take another deep step right. And you can see from here I have to punch a little bit of distance forward and get my foot near this corner right here. And that's going to open up a half cover target behind this wall. And then my gun is just up and shooting and moving the entire rest of the way. So one thing really flows into the next really nicely as long as I take this deep step right and get this position done properly. That's a very good run. I don't think it was a win or anything or really even near the top. At a world shoot, you can shoot a perfect run and there'll still be 15 people to beat you. But I was very happy with the performance on this stage.